Yes, welcome to another edition of House Modeling Tutorial. I want to start a new project, an entirely new project, and it's going to be a house. Um I don't have a 2D plan yet. I'm just going to be designing it as it comes. Although I do have a few photos that will give me inspiration. I'm going to show them to you now. Um, this is one, right? This is one. You have a pool, you have a car, right? There's a cantilevered balcony. It's pretty nice. I love it. And yeah, I really do like this. I don't know. I think I have another one. Yes, I like this too. It's really nice. I don't own these images. I think they belong to. I can't. I'm not so sure. I think it's an Indian architectural firm, right? I love this too. The pool really fascinates me. Then okay, this is another one. All right, rocky setup, rocky background, pretty nice. Pool again. So I want to toe this line. I think these are the three images that I have. Yes, I really like this one. So I'm just gonna be working with something like this, and borrow elements from here and here. I'm not going to be storing the it's not like I'm going to bring the images into 3ds masks and then start copying. No, I just want to um, do something like that. Personally, I love cubic buildings, buildings that have sharp angles, 90-degree angles. I really love them. And so most of my designs in the past too, they've been informed by things like that. So I'm just going to draw this, like I said. I don't have um, I don't have a dimension in mind. I don't have a height in mind. I'm just going to go with the flow, and I'm starting afresh. And I think this tutorial will help anyone who doesn't really know much about 3ds Max, always new, is a beginner in 3ds Max, to see how I do what I do. So let's get on with it. Uh, Let me see. A 40 by 60 ounce, would that be big enough? 40, 60, no, let's do 50, 100. So say the length 50, the width 100, and the height 20. Top view, front view. Okay, yeah, it's rectangular now. So this is the top view. So if the house itself is 100 by 50, let's see the land. Um, Most people will use plane for this one, and it's okay. Instead of drawing a box, I want to draw the land on which the building sits. But what I do is, most times, I don't know, I think it's just a force of habit. I draw a box and then I make the height very minute, say 0.01. So when I press the front view, that's the land. That's the land on which the building sits on. You can see it's pretty small, so almost negligible, and that works for me. I like that. You can use a box. Sorry, you can use a plane. This is a plane. Hey, this one that's highlighted. You can use it, but this works for me. So the house itself is 50 by 100. So let's say the length of the land is 120. Yes, and the width is 200. Yep, that's it. That's the land. Let's give the back of the house. Let's see, can we achieve 20 feet? I want to see 20 feet. Yes, this is what 20 feet would look like. I think before we do that, let's work on the fence. So to do the fence, this is what I want to do. Let me shift and drag this. I'm duplicating it. So now I'm instead of this is 200 this way, 120 this way. Now I'll leave the 200, but the 120 I'll turn to 0.75, 0.75. And then the height, I'll make it 8. So this is one fence. So the land itself is 200 feet by 120 feet. So the fence is taking a portion of the land. The fence is not sitting outside of the land. The fence is in the boundary of the land. That's what I'm trying to do here. So let's go to solids, default shading. Okay, let's see. Perspective really help us. I've not drawn any camera in the yes. So that's the fence. That is the fence of the land. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to duplicate it. So that makes two walls now. There's a wall at the back and this is the wall at the front. Let's give it another color. Okay. And then I take the same thing, shift and drag. I'm duplicating it. Then the 0.5 I'm going to turn to 120, which will represent the length of the land. And then the 200 I'm going to turn to 0.75. This is now the width of the left wall. So I've just made the left wall. They all have a height of 8 feet. Here, you'll see my height is written as 7 feet 12 inches. It's the same thing as 8 feet. Honestly, I don't know why 3ds Max is not converting the last 12 inches to a foot and adding it to the 7. But 7 feet 12 inches here is the same as 8 feet. So my fence walls are 8 feet tall. I could change them later on, but for now let's just work with that. So this is the left wall and this is the right wall. One thing I would really love to add to my buildings, which I've not had it so far since I've been doing 3ds Max, is trees. I don't think I've ever added trees to my buildings. So that's the house. In the middle of the house itself has a dimension of what did I call it again? 100 feet. Sorry, yeah, 100 feet wide, 50 feet long. Let's click it to be sure. Come to modify. Yes, 50 feet here, 100 feet here. Yes. So I want to put a setback of 20. Let me change the color of the back fence. So you just give it red. So I want to put a setback of 20 feet at the back of the house. So if you wanted to plant trees, gigantic trees, they would fit in here nicely. Then, so I'm going to move the building now. Moving it down. Yes. So that means the distance between the building and this back wall is 20 feet. Good. So the one up front is noticeably larger, no problem. You can have cars here, you can have cars here. So there you have it. Let's draw a pool. I want to save the drawing. Let's go to library, documents. Let's call it the new house project. What's today's date? August 30, 2025. Yeah, there you have it. So it's saved. This is what we've done so far. I want to show you again. The green represents the land, the ones the red and the walls, and this for now represents the building. So if I come to these images, let me see. Right. Okay. So there's a pool here in front. Let me draw my pool. So I'm going to give this, it's 100 feet. Oh, sorry. Let's say undo. What I have there is 26. Let's do 25. And let's do width, let's make it 100. Good. Now, good. And I bring it down like this. Let me put a distance of about 10 feet between the house and the pole. 10 feet. Or let's do 15. 15, 1 and 5. Enter. So let's make the pole 20 feet wide. 20 feet instead of 25 feet. So the pole is 20 feet wide and 100 feet long. It's a pretty long pole. Yes, so now this is 15. So there's a distance of 15 feet between the house and the pole. Now this is not the pole in itself. I'm just using this to represent the pole at the moment. So you come in, say through here, you can go through here, here, and go into the house, or go through here, or if there's another gate here, you can come in through here, go into the house. This is the pole. So I can delete this guide now. So this, I'm going to make it a boolean. I'm going to create a boolean. Bring it in this way. Now I want to subtract, I want to create a hole in the land. You know that a pool naturally sinks below the ground level. Alright, most pools that you know, that we've come to know, sink below the ground level. The water is pumped below ground level. It's the top of the pool that is kind of flush with the ground level. So now I want to cut out this hole in the parcel of land. This green represents the parcel of land. So I click the green, I come here, I click compound objects, I go to boolean, I do add operands. No, let's do pro boolean. Pro boolean, start picking. Now, what I have done is I told 3ds Max delete this shape that was here from the green, and it creates this hole. Now in this hole, I am going to build walls around that would serve as the pool. So let's get on with it. So this wall will also be 100 feet wide. So the width here, let's say 100, and it's going to be let's say 1 foot, 1 foot thick. We could do 1.5 foot. No, 1 foot is alright. Now, so that it will not eat into the space of the pool, I want the pool itself to be 20 feet wide. So this is going to be outside. Now, the depth, depending on the kind of pool you want to achieve, some people have pools that are quite deep, 8 feet deep. It works for you if you have great swimmers in your house, great. But I think for houses where you have kids, I would recommend. I'm not an architect. Please I put in the caveat out there. I'm not an architect. I love designing homes, all right, and I've acquired tons of information regarding that. I think it's safe to have a shallow depth of about 4 feet, and maybe a deep end of 6 feet, 8 feet. I think for a house pool, it should have been more than 8 feet, and it should be noticeable. And people in the house should be taught that okay, this is the shallow end, then there should be a deep end, so that if they were to find themselves in the shallow end just before they lose all the oxygen in their lungs, they can quickly rush beneath the pool from the deep end to the shallow end. And if they're tall enough, their heads might just be above water on time. maybe say in 3 minutes, just before drowning occurs. So I'm going to make this end the shallow end and the right hand here the deep end. So let's say 8 feet, height of 8 feet. Now this is going to be below ground level, F. No, sorry, let's click this, F. Now this is going down because this the pool is below ground level. So it's going down. This is the ground level. So it's going down. Yes. Then I'm going to take it and duplicate it. I'm going to take, no. Now I can hide this and take this, right click, say 90 degrees, good, and make this 27. The reason why I'm going to turn this from 100 to 27 is the distance between here and here is 25. Now I'm going to add 1 foot here, 1 foot here. So I'm going to call this 27, 27, yep. Then I bring it here. Oh, sorry, I've turned this to 20. So it's 22, not 27, 22, good. So I'll bring this here. These are the walls of the pool, by the way. Now this is my shallow end. Now I'm going to make this 4 feet deep. 4. Yes. Then I'm going to take this one and make this one 8 feet deep. Now this 4, I press the F button. There it is. It should be down. Let's click sorry, default shading. Yes, it should be up here. Yeah, something like that. And this. Okay, now let's do something. Hide this. Let's select this 4. Hide unselected. That means it's going to hide everything else except these 4 shapes. Good. So let's select this. Press the F button. This is 8 feet. Yes, just where it should be. Then let me select this again. F. This is 4 feet. Yes, where it should be. Good. Now I'm going to right click this one. Right now I have these 2 boxes, 1 and 2. So I'm going to right click this and say convert to editable poly. Good. Then I press the F button. Then I select the vertices below here and I drag upwards like this. Now I can delete this and take this. Now you can see the shape of my pool. Although in real life situation this is long. This is really long. It's 8 feet deep here. It's 4 feet deep here. And to walk from here to here is 100 feet. So a pool like this too, you would expect only professional swimmers. Well, when I say professional, amateur quite alright, but swimmers that can get themselves out of precarious situations, not babies. This is not a pool that a baby should be in without adult supervision. Yes, if you have a 12-year-old who is quite tall, is most likely going to be above 4 feet tall. So if it says he jumps into the pool from here, he can naturally swim this way and put his head out. You get, or walk or crawl, whatever, till he gets his head out here. But this is not a pool that you should have 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds without adult supervision. So I'm going to take this shape here. Then I'm going to shift and drag, duplicate it. Yes, so there's your pool. Then I'm going to draw a box. I want to use this to represent the pool base. Let's just give it a very small height, 0.01. Most people would use a plane for this again. I don't know. I don't know. I just have an affinity for boxes. So select the vertices. I've converted to editable poly. That's quite simple to do. Right click, convert to editable poly. Then select these vertices, drag them this way. Then I press the F button. Then I bring everything down, let it touch. This is the bottom of the pole, so this is going here. You can see that's the bottom of the pole. Then the vertices here are coming up like this, and just like that you have a pole. Let me show you. That is below the ground surface. That's it. It's below the ground surface. Sorry about the twitching. Let me select the clay mode. No, it's still not showing well. So that's your pole, and it's below the ground surface. This is the shallow end. This is the deep end. This is 8 feet tall, taller than a regular human being, and this is 4 feet tall. So let's put stairs in the pole. Unhide all. Let's hide this. Hide selection. Let's put stairs here. Say we want to put 4 stairs. I'm gonna make this 4 feet. Let's do 6 feet. 6 feet. No, undo. The width here will be 6 feet. Okay. And the height, let's say, no, we're going to have longer than 6 feet. 0.5. Let's say we have a height difference of 0.5. Sorry, a rise. The staircase rise is 0.5 feet, and the width is 1 foot. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to make this 8 feet. 8 feet. I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do. The width will be 20. Yes. Then we drag it here. This is coming down. Yes. F is coming something like this. The height should be 0.5. Yes. So let's hide this. Let's hide this. Let's hide this. So this one, let's have it touch the base of the pool at this end. Then let's duplicate it, shift and drag. It's 6 inches tall. So let's call this, instead of 8 feet, let's call it 7 feet. And let's drag this way. Alright, shift and drag again. Let's call this 6 feet. And let's drag it this way. Shift and drag. Let's call this 5 feet. Oh, sorry, I held the shift button. So like this. Shift and drag. Okay. Let's call this 4 feet. This way. Shift and drag. Let's call this 3 feet. Sorry. Shift and drag. Let's call this 2 feet. And shift and drag 1 foot and drag this way. So I'm gonna take this group, pull stairs, then on hide all, hide this one. So when you come into the pool, I'm just going to bring this down a little. Yes, so when you come into the pool, you land on this, on this, on this. So let's see what it looks like from the top. On hide all, let's select edge faces here. So this is it. You can see you come in, land, step on this, step on this, step on this, step on this before you start swimming. So out of the 100 foot, out of the 100 feet that you have in the pool, 8 feet has been allocated to the stairs. Water will flow here naturally, but 8 feet has been allocated to the stairs. So there you have it. So let's see. I don't know if I have a pool. Where can I find that pool? Trying to see if I have pool pattern. Don't think so. I may have to download. I'm looking for pool patterns. Let me just download one. Sorry, 1 minute. I need to turn on my. Sorry. Yes, I'm back. So pool tile. Just click pool tile. So we want to try and achieve maybe, something. Want to see, and just click on images. See if we can get something that inspires us. All right, I like this. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. So let's save this. Call it pool tile. So I'm gonna. This is it on my desktop. I'm going to cut it. Control X. Then I'm going to come to Documents. I'm going to create a folder for the house we're designing presently. I call it the same name as the file name. The new house project, August 30, 2025. Then I drop the pool tile there. So view large, extra large icons. This is the pool tile. So now we come to M in 3ds Max. Click the M button. Then we're creating our first material. Before we do, okay, rendering, let's close this. Rendering, render setup. Our renderer should be Corona. Yes. So we go to M, material. Material editor, compact material editor. Physical material will be Corona. Okay, then the color, you come here, select bitmaps, then you go to library, documents, the new house project. Where's the folder? Yeah, that's the folder. Click pool tiles, open, and then we apply here. You can see. So it's too big, obviously. So let's do 50. 50. All right. So let's see what it looks like from the top. Nah, so let's do 40 here. No, let's do 60 here. Okay, let's do 80 here. Okay, so let's apply the same material to the stairs. Each of the stairs. I'm just dragging and dropping. Okay, what else? Let's give it some reflection, although it won't show it's in the water. Let's roughness, let's drop it to say 0.3. All right. Okay, now let's see what we have. There's your pool. Now I have to apply the same material. Let's hide the floor, which is the green. I'm going to apply the same pool material to these walls. 1, to this wall, 2, to this wall, 3, and then there's another wall. Yes, M, come this way, and drop on this one, 4. Now the pool, there you have it. There's the pool. If you want to put text, you can put text, whatever rocks your boat. Top view, I think it's too tiny. I think I'm going to change the values. Yeah, I'm just going to select this. The tile, let's do this. Let's make this 40. Let's make this 25. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think it's better. Alright. Yeah. That's the pool. So, to simulate water, to simulate the what's the call? There's this word I'm looking for. Refraction that comes with water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a block of glass, and I'm going to put it in the pool. It's going to be like this. It's going to have an height of 8 feet, just like the pool. And right click, convert to editable poly, so that I can drag this side this way. It's going to come in this way. Yes, I'm just going to call it, let's say, pool water. Pool water. Okay. So this is going to be Corona physical material. The default apply, let's just call it glass. And let's give it a bit of a tint, a bluish tint. So let's come to clear coat layer here. Right, because the water, because of the tile color, should not be, let's say 0.5. Absorption, let's call it blue, as if the tiles were reflecting. You can see now the water is blue, and I apply this here, pool water. So I select it, it's still selected. I have to make sure it's where it should be. Okay, that's it. This is pool water, and then I bring it here. So on hide all, let's create sunlight. Corona light, Corona sun. Let's drop it this way. Let's see what we have. Drop the exposure to -5. Alright, so that's it. Now you can see the house is reflecting in the water, and you can see right now it looks as if the pool is not deep. That's what happens. That's what you call refraction. When, if you've noticed, if you put a straw in water, all right, when the straw goes into the water, say a transparent glass cup, you see refraction. It would appear as though the straw is now bent at a sharper angle compared to the angle with which it went into the water. That's refraction. So that is what also causes pools to appear shallower than they really are, and that's what I try to achieve with the block of glass. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people would use fluid to create the water effect, and they will still get the what's to call it, the refraction. But right now, what I'm just trying to do is at least get the reflection of water. Let it appear as though the water is still, the water is not moving. So there you have it. So what else? Let's change the color of the floor here. Let's just give it. We've not added any material. Let's just give it a gray. or custom colors. No, current color. Let's select a gray. Yeah, something like that. Okay, yeah, just be like this for now. So we're still working on the pool area. I want to create ceramic tiles. Let's say 1 by 2 and 1 foot by 2 foot and 0.2 inch tall. Yeah, I don't select it, so I want to be sure this is resting on the ground level. Yeah, so I need it to, yeah, it's alright like this. Then come say this way, give it a material, Corona physical material. Let's give it white. Let's look at the photos that we're drawing inspiration from. Okay, this does not really have, it just has stone around it. Just has stone. This is nice too. So let's select another one. This has tiles around the water. Okay, it has blocks. Yes, this is nice. This has blocks around it, so we can do something like this too around it. Before we now have the tiles of the floor. Okay, so let's come to M, close this. Let's say Corona physical material. Let's give it a gray color. Let's drop roughness to 0.4. Alright, and drop it on this. Okie dokie. So now we just have to move this way and then begin duplicating it. Let's say it's 2 feet long, so let's say 50. Okay, yeah, let's delete this one. Let's take this, rotate this 90 degrees, bring this here. I'm going to convert this one to editable poly. Yes, so we take this again and let's say 11 or 10. Okay, then we rotate this 90 degrees again. Sorry, turn this to 0. I beg your pardon. Okay, so this guy, there's going to be one more. Okay, right click this one, convert to editable poly. These are just sharp stones around your pool. 50. Yes. Right click, 90 degrees. Bring it here. Take this, right click, editable poly. Vertices. Yep. I take this. Say 9. Okay, then one more. So these are 1 foot by 2 foot by 0.2 inch tall tiles. You can add rough texture to them to make them look more stony. Alright, but for now let's just leave as is on hide all. So you just have them by the edge of the pool. Let me see if I can zoom in. You can see they're just by the edge of your pool, that's all. So That's just it. Let's zoom out. You can see what it looked like. That's it. Naturally, you would to. It's just because I'm rushing things. You would chamfer the edges. There should be a bull nose, bullnose, so that if the edges are too sharp, they can cut. If you fall down, um, if you fall and you hit your head on any of these edges, all right, it could crack the skull open. If your shin hits this, all right, it could break a bone. So the edges should naturally have bull noses around them. But to achieve that, I think one would just have to chamfer the edges, right? Which I just don't want to do in this tutorial. You chamfer the edges before you start duplicating them, before you start, arranging them. The very first one you create, you chamfer the edges, you create gradients, curves around the edges. That would naturally make um, them less sharp. If you see your sanitary ware, your toilet bowl, or your sink in the bathrooms, they don't have sharp edges. It's an intentional thing. All right. You'll still feel some pain if you were to hit them violently, but even at that, there's a very high chance that you would survive the crash or no bone will be broken. Your head would not split into two. All right, your skull would not be cracked open. That's why they have bull noses. If you check your sink, if you check your sink, you would see that no edge is sharp. If you check your water closet, your water cistern rather, you'll see that it has bull noses all around it. That's beg your pardon. That's how it should be. It should not be this sharp. I'm just rushing things. That's why I'm not paying too much attention to that. So we've created the pool. Let's see if we can do something on the house just before I end the tutorial. So let's look at these again. Okay, let's work on tall ceilings. Let's say from here to here, 14 feet. I like tall ceilings naturally, so 14-foot ceilings. So let's draw the wall. So if this is 14 feet, from here to here is 14 feet, and then you have um, a slab of 0.5 foot, and then you have another 14 foot. So this, and this would be 28 and a half. So let's work on that first. 28 and a half. So I draw this. This is going to be 100. The length would be the width of a wall. In Nigeria, we use 9-inch blocks, and that's 0.75 of a foot. We use 9-inch blocks. So, and then the height would be 28.5. 28.5. Yes. So now I just have to bring this here. Move it this way. Shift and drag. Shift and drag. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. Alright, instead of 100, let me check the width of that. I think it's 50, so let's just make this 50 now. This 100 becomes 50. Yes. And then it goes this way. So I'm going to use this I'm going to convert this into the slab. So instead of height of 20 that you have here, I'm going to do 0.5 of a foot. Good. So F. No, top view. Let me reduce the width and height a bit so that they will not show out there. So this 50, let's make it 49.5. then the 100, let's do 99.5. Okay, so F, F. So the slab is coming somewhere here. That's the slab. So to be sure, I hide this. Hide this. Let's take this and this hide unselected. So I'm going to take 14, draw something, I call give it the length of 14, and make sure that the bottom matches the bottom of this one. Alright, then I can bring the slab down to touch this. Good. So it means from here to here 14, then there is slab, and then when I take this up, this is another 14. So unhide all. And these are the walls of my house. I'm going to be working on them, but these are the walls of the house. Alright, going to create windows and doors, but these are the walls of the house. So one thing I really would love to do first is to create a staircase here. I want to draw a staircase that's quite big. The house itself is 100 foot wide, so I'm thinking the staircase as 20 feet wide. You know, really pronounced staircase. You come into the house and you see it, and I want it to, you know, you climb here, then there's a table, then you climb this way. So 20, let's cut out 20 here. The width will be 20. Yep. Sorry, that's the length. The width should be 20. Yeah, that's what 20 looks like. This can be, let's say 10. I'm not sure yet. It's going to have a table. Let's say the table is 5. This can be 10. Let's say 15. 15 for now. I'm not sure. When I arrange the stairs, I'll know. Then I come this way. Select this and this. Hide unselected. F button. Let's give this, say, 3. I'm going to use it to cut through. That's just, I'm just using the Boolean tool. I'm going to use this dude to cut out the shape from this. That's all. So take this compound objects, pro Boolean again, start picking. That's it. That's just what I wanted to do. So unhide all. So now right click, editable poly, vertices. No, take this in. So let's draw the table first. The stairs table. No, let's start from the ground level. Unhide all. Control S. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take let's draw stairs here. 10-foot tall stairs, 10-foot wide stairs. So let's take, it's going to be, the length would be 1. The width would be, for a house this majestic, I think the 1 is too small. Let's do 16, 18, 1.5, 1.5, yes. And the width would be 10. And the height would be 0.5, quite comfortable. Alright. The house has a majestic presence, so yes, so this hide unselected L. Okay, there's the stairs. Where's the floor? Okay, this is the floor. This is the first stairs. So this goes up a little. And so I take this guy, I do this. You can see what I'm doing. No, before let me cancel it and zoom in a little more. Take this and drop it here. And then I duplicate it. Let me see. The height of the house itself is 14, right? So yes, the height of each floor, calculator, is 14 feet. So 14 divided by 2 would be 7, right? So 7 divided by 0.5, you still have 14. So I'm going to do 14 of this. Good. I'm going to select all this. I'm going to group on hide all, top view. Good. So now we know how long the stairs are. Good. So this comes this way. And we're not even there yet. In fact, it's coming down. Yes, I just remembered. Because there's going to be a table here. A landing. Yeah, that's a landing. Yeah, some people call it landing. We also call it table. Say 0.5. That's the height of the landing. So I'm going to select the landing. I'm going to select the stairs. Right click, hide unselected. I'm going to press the help button. So this landing is coming here. So after the last stairs, here you have a landing like this. And the length of the landing, let's do 5. Okay. The stairs itself is 1.5 foot wide, but the landing is quite big. Sorry, quite wide and quite long. So the width would be 20 because the landing will cover both sides. You get both this side and this side. Yes, you can see what we have. So I'm going to take this guy, shift and drag, duplicate it, then rotate 180 degrees. All right, then I'm going to press the help button. There it is. Then I'm going to do this. So what it means is you climb the stairs this way, blah, 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 you land here, then you do blah, 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 blah. So on hide all, let's see what we have. So now I'm going. This opening has to be made wider. It's going to be made much wider. Yeah, something like that. And then this guy has to touch this one. Ordinarily, there should be a gap. So let's put a gap of 1 foot between them. 1 foot. 1. Yes. To be sure that this is at the center, let's do tools, align, quick align. Yes. Then I select freeze, select this guy, bring it out. Okay. So now I can take this, move it this way. I can take this and move it this way. Okay, so now I've created a gap between them. So I'm going to drag this, the opening I created with the boolean. Yes, it's going to be like this. Then come this here as well. It's going to be like this. So then I'm going to take the right. I'm going to select this dude, which is the landing. Now let me freeze this. Freeze. Select the landing. On hide on. I'm having difficulty selecting the landing. On freeze or yes. Okay. Good. Right click. Editable poly or no. Just make this 2021. Yes. And make it 5 feet. It's going to touch this. Let this move here. Okay, let's take this a bit and bring it in. Yes. This should go in and touch this, and this should touch this. Let me see if you can tell what we have. So if I were to hide this, hide this, hide this, now you can see what we have. It's the stairs. You can see. Now the base of the stairs in most cases isn't like this, you know. It's not. So let's take the stairs. Let me take this first, hide unselected, help button, and then I'm going to group, I'm going to ungroup, I'm going to take this, edit, and I'm going to clone, copy. Okay. Then I'm going to right click, editable poly, vertex. I'm going to bring this way. You can see. So, what I have just done is to give the backs a smooth finish. So when I press the help button, let's select, you can see, now it looks like a stairs. If I delete this guy, you'll see that they were jagged. And I say, if I delete this, you can see jagged, jagged, jagged. So now it's smooth. So I can take this guy and do, no, let's just leave it as it is for now. For now, I'm supposed to attach everything, but I want to be sure that on hide all, let me take this hide selection. Yes, now you can see that my stairs is taller than the landing, the slab. So that's why I didn't do this yet. So I'm going to take this, delete this, delete this. This is this. So is there another one there? Okay. So freeze, then delete this one. Good. So when you're climbing the stair, this should be the last step. Then you land here. Then I'm going to take this dude. I'm going to bring him down. Let me select wireframe. You can see. That's why I did not. No, it's supposed to eat into this wall. Something like that. Yes. Okay, so now let's come here. Let's select this. I don't select it. You can select the L view. These are the stairs at the bottom. Group on the group. Then I take this. Then I go to edit. Then I clone. Okay. Then I right click, editable poly. Then I select vertices. Then I come this way and I drop it here. Ready? On hide all. So let me take this and attach to this, to this, to this, to this, to this, this. Yeah. So this is bottom stairs. Then now I take this one, then I attach to this. Oh, I think weirdly I have attached all. I made a mistake, but it works. If I'm not planning to move the stairs, it works. Then I've attached to the table, so I think all the stairs have now become one piece. Okay, so let's just call it stairs instead of bottom stairs. Alright, this works. So top view. Now this right click pro boolean editable poly vertices. Then I select the ones here. Should be vertices here. I don't know what this is yet. Oh, sorry. I wanted to select this on freeze all. Okay, this vertices, because this should land here. So when you climb and you land on this one, then you land on this one. Oh no, it's still going in. I think yes. This is the final step. Let me see if you can see. That's the final step. So you come in, you land on this, and then you land on this. So let's have balustrades here. Let's have glass balustrades here. Let's give it a height of 3.5. I think a height of 42. In some parts of America, they sorry, 3.5. That's 42 inches. So in some parts of America, they recommend balustrades of such height. Then the length, it can be a glass balustrade. Let's say the length can be 0.02, thick glass, 10 mm glass. And its job is to prevent you from falling. So I need to be sure it's where it should be. It's not there yet. So I'm going to select this and this, hide unselected, press the have button. This is the balustrade. It's going to land on the slab. This is the balustrade. Yes. So top view, right click, unhide all. So right click, editable poly. I want to edit the balustrades now. This is coming in this way. Then I'm going to duplicate it, rotate it 90 degrees. Right. Then I'm going to come in here. Now, it depends. If this place is not, I've not decided yet. Like I said, I'm just drawing off the top of my head. If this place is not an open area, if there's a wall here, then you would not have balustrade here. If there's a wall here, you would not have balustrade here. If just climb up, you go into another room here, then what you would have here would be a wall, and the balustrade would just be here. But I have not decided yet. Honestly, I have not. So that's why I'm just putting it there for now. So that my figurative character, the character in my head, will not fall down the stairs. You can see now. So when you climb the stairs this way, so on hide all, righty, and there you have it. So you climb the stairs. This is a wall, by the way. This is a wall. Yeah, that's a wall. So you climb, and then you come to the top level to do whatever it is you want to do. So that's what we've done so far. Alright. Just the stairs. The house itself is 100 feet wide. 100 feet wide. I've not decided on where I want to put the door. I've not decided if I want a cantilever. I think I want a cantilever. So let's make this wall. Let's duplicate it. Let's make the first one 14. F view. Front view. Yeah, it's just beneath the slab, but to be sure, right click, editable poly, vertices. I think I want a cantilever. Yes, so I'm going to take this wall. I'm going to put another one up here. You're going to see what I'm trying to do in a minute. Okay, so now this dude, let's press the held button. This dude is going to go in. Let's say the distance will be 10 feet. 10. Now, it's not just to design. I'm a designer, I'm more concerned about the aesthetics. Although deep down, I know a bit about structural elements, right? The mechanics of buildings. But a structural engineer will still have to check and say, oh, because you put a cantilever here, all right, you would need this type of pillars here, you would need this here, you would need that here. So this is what I have tried to do. You can see now I have a cantilever. So the house is slimmer at the bottom than the top. All right, and I'm going to try to do the same thing here. I'm going to have to cut out this and then maybe put large pillar here or something. I don't know, I've not decided. Let me try and show you what I'm trying to do. Yes, you can see that this portion of the house protrudes beyond this. Yes, so something like that. So this creates a shade underneath here, and that's what you would have in a real life situation. Sorry, if there were a cantilever. I've not rendered here, so we don't even see. We can't see how the sun is casting, how the shadow is being cast on this portion of that. But I want to cut out this part. That's what I want to work on now. So let's stay here. Let's hide the fence. I take this editable poly vertices, then I go in to just here. Okay, then I duplicate. Okay, I have to make sure it is touching this one. Edge faces. Oh, Ctrl Z, select this. They should touch this. Okay, then editable poly, select these two vertices. Yes, they should touch this. Then the vertices at the bottom, they're going up. They're going to cover the slab. Cover the slab. Cover, yeah. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to attach to this one. Then I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to delete this wall. Then I'm going to take this wall here, which we have just created. Let's move the locus. I press the 0 button. Okay. I pressed the shift button and I dragged, so that created a clone. And this is what we have now. A proper cantilever. You can see that's a proper cantilever. Now, a structural engineer would now have to check and see for this cantilever to be 10 foot deep, or sorry, to protrude 10 foot from this place, pillars would have to be here, this and this size of rebar, this type of concrete, M20 concrete. I can't do that. My job would be to design the building, and then a structural engineer can say, you know what, it can't work like this. Or if it would work like this, the client would have to do this. The building contractor would have to do this. All right, but I'm just making informed decisions that are based on years and years of consuming architectural content. All right, so I'm trying to draw something that is pleasing, but at the same time will stand. But the person who ensures it will truly stand is a structural engineer. Then a civil engineer would slash builder would follow the recommendations of a structural engineer and put pillars here. For example, there might be, say, 8 pillars at the back here, or it be 6 pillars this way, come at a certain size. You may say, you know what, this cantilever is just too wide, 100-foot cantilever, put a pillar here, put a pillar here. All right, anything, it would be the one to do all that. So let's draw a wall here, a thick wall, and let's make it 2 feet wide. Yes, it naturally would be a block of concrete. What I'm trying to do right now would be a block of concrete, and let's give it a height of 14 feet. Let's see what it looks like. you can see. And the idea is just to make sure that something is at least carrying the cantilever, that's not just suspended. So press the F button to get the front view. Then let's say it goes this way. Alright, so I can have another one like this. And then I can rotate this 90 degrees. Like I said, I'm not following, I don't select, I'm not following the exact drawing on the images that I sent. No, I'm just using them as guides. On hide all, F. So designers naturally make tweaks. If I draw it this way and I don't like it, then I try something else. So now what I have done is something is carrying the cantilever here, and this is also carrying all of the building here. So the so even if you had a balcony here, all right, you would still be comfortable that you're not suspended on 100-foot cantilever. It can be designed. It's just going to involve a lot of structural elements, and it would give a structural engineer a headache. But it's doable. I've seen crazy cantilevers in different parts of the world, so I know it's doable. But you just have to be sure that you have a structural engineer to now bring in the structural elements into your drawing. I would never advise anybody to, oh, just because the house is beautiful, all right, let me give it to a builder to bring it out. No, it doesn't work like that. A builder's job is to mix all the materials together based on the engineer's guidelines. All right, we have the MEP engineers, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineers. Engineers that will tell you your plumbing material should go in this way, your electrical should be this way, you should use this thickness of wire. All right, they design the mechanics of buildings, how fluids will flow in your buildings. All right, how electricity would flow in your building, how air would flow in your building, why you should have this type of window come in this way and go out so that air would come in this way, that way, how you circulate air. They would guide you. They are MEP engineers. The structural engineer, his job is to make sure that till Jesus comes, your building is standing. Except, of course, you now decide to blow it up, all right, or get a bulldozer to pull it down. The job of a structural engineer is to make sure that earthquakes will not bring your building down. Live load, which is the load of people in the house, that's what we call a live load, will not bring the house down. And dead load, the weight of the building itself, will not bring the building down. The structural engineer will also check the soil integrity to be sure that the soil has the bearing capacity. The soil can carry the weight of the building you're putting on it. This is a 28.5-foot tall house, 100-foot wide, 50-foot deep, and the soil cannot be loose. It has to, all these things come into play. So it's not just about designing building. I design buildings, but a structural engineer must say, based on this, if you now draw a structural engineering plan that a builder will follow. So I've not added windows. I'm just trying to see how the elements interplay. All right, that's it. So let's unhide all. Let's zoom out. Let's see what we've done so far. Okay, sorry. I just had an environment. I need to click the sun. This is my sun right here. Then add Corona Sky environment. So C, Control S. So let's see. Now you can see my cantilever is casting a shadow. So by the time you had that, so the door would be somewhere here. All right, this door would be somewhere here. You could have a very big balcony here. All right, this is the pool. You would have cars here, windows. So I think we can still get something like this. This cantilever, go good. I think I'm going to do this just before I wrap up this tutorial. This will go in this way. So I'm still going to create another one here. All right. So let's just do that. All right. Let me show you what I'm saying. I'm going to take this up. Yeah. Top view, F view. So this is coming up now. Okay. All right. So this will stay as is. Now I'm going to take this, delete it. Let's see what we have. Yes, then I'm going to draw a roof for the house. The roof is another slab, 0.5 foot. Top view. Top view. Right click, editable poly. Vertices. Okay. Now you see. So this would be a balcony, and there would be a door here. Sorry. Let me show you this one. You can see there's a recess. That's what I'm just trying to create right now. There's a recess. So these are walls, and then there's a recess. So let's come here and create our recess now. If I brought this back down, would I get the recess I'm looking for? Yes, I could. Or I could jolly well just press the F button and then draw a box this way. Say 2. Right click, editable poly. Make sure it's going to land on the slab. So I'm going to select that and this. Hide on selected top view. So I'm going to take this and bring it here. And I'm going to create boolean. Pro boolean. Start picking this. So on hide all. Now you see there's a recess. If I were to give all of this gray color, I don't know, maybe we would see it better that way. Okay. So oops, it's too dark for us to see the details. Let's just change the color here. Make it okay. So this big opening will just be filled with glass, and so you can come in from there to the balcony. So what this does is that this roof, because this is protruding beyond this wall, no, I think I should go back to the 3D. This roof is protruding beyond this wall, so it naturally casts a shadow into the room. So the inside of the house is cooler than the balcony. Now, when you need sunlight, when you truly need sunlight, like this one, you come here, you come to the balcony. But when you need cool air, you go back into the house because this roof is casting a shadow into the house. The sunlight can penetrate the balcony, can get to the balcony, but it cannot get inside the house. So that's actually really nice. So you just have to thicken in these edges, give it that very boxy 3D feel. But even beyond that, anybody who has an eye for buildings will be able to tell what I've just tried to achieve. Let's check this angle. So the inside of the house is darker because the sun rays cannot get into that place. Right, so here you just have your glass balustrade, maybe glass and metal balustrade for the balcony. All right, there will be a door here, there'll be windows and whatever you whatnot. But I think I'm going to stop the tutorial here for today. All right, this is my very first video concerning this project. I'll consume more content to be inspired, so I'll know where I want to put what. But I think you get the gist. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.